Katie Shanahan is your regular Friday morning host for the early sports breakfast on Talksport, 5 a.m. start, but worth getting up for. She's here tonight. We were speaking before the game and she's gutted she won't see Trent up against Vinicius Jr. this evening. Trent back on the bench though tonight after 2.5 weeks out. May come on and face the club he's been heavily linked with because he's out of contract next summer. Jude Bellingham, his best mate, was asked about it last night, and Jude was asked if he wanted to play with Trent. He said, well, I do for England. Clever answer from Jude Bellingham. But also out of contract, Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, who suddenly started speaking to the media about it at the weekend. Match-winning performance, so he decided to come out and say it looks like he's leaving. He's not had an offer, but he does love the fans. And Van Dijk in his captain's programme notes tonight starts with the line, I love every single week of playing for Liverpool, and I always will. So, Stuart, there's 3 players there. Who's staying, who's going, in your opinion?
Well, I can't tell you who's staying, who's going. If I was in the manager's seat for Liverpool, Salah would be the first one I want to keep, Van Dijk the second, and probably Trent the third. And I think it would be more hurtful if the first 2 went than it would Trent, you know. So, and out of all 3 of them, I would say probably Trent's got most chance of leaving.
Okay, I mean, Mo Salah, the age he is, I think he wants 4 years, and I think the offer is, not that there is an official offer, but they're talking about 2 years. So it's quite easy to meet in the middle there, isn't it?
Well, that's negotiation for you, isn't it? I think if there's something in a contract, normally you at that stage you put appearances in. So if after the first 2 years you've hit, say, 35 appearances, 30 appearances, then you automatically get the third, and if you do the same again, you get the fourth. So if you're playing, you're worthy of your place, and you get that extra year. That's the way to get over that bridge.
I mean, we're listening to this in the background. You don't get this at every club, and they absolutely adore Mo Salah here, understandably, given his record. So does that come into a player's thinking when he's deciding whether to stay or not, or is it just about what age he is and the length of contract he can get?
Multitude of things come into play there. Are your family happy in this area? Are you happy playing here? Can you win silverware? What's the financial package? All of those things this day and age will come into a player's thinking.
Well, there's a decision to be made. There are questions that need answering on 3 huge players, and let's not forget Trent, a local hero, and those fans will want him to stay for that reason. But for me, given everything that's been said, it does look like he is the most likely to go. Can they work it out with Van Dijk, the captain? Can they work it out with Mo Salah? That's a noise that's persuasive, isn't it? Mo Salah said he loves the fans, and he knows that the fans love him as well. They always talk about the cliche, that big European night at Anfield. Well, here it is, as Carlo Ancelotti, the former Everton manager, used to manage across the park, comes out of the tunnel, takes his place in the dugout, stands in front of his seat, arms behind his back. How Everton fans must wish they still had him in charge. He even got a game out of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And we await the players who are in the tunnel here at Anfield. They will come out to a huge noise in just a few seconds. The Liverpool players track-suited up. Jude Bellingham just in front of Kylian Mbappe, both at the back of the line for Real Madrid, the European champions. They are synonymous with this competition. They're the very best at this competition. 15 times they've won it, including 6 times in the last 11 seasons. Teams on their way out. We've got a goal at Ellen Road, Mark Wilson.
Leeds United 1, Luton 0. Good work down the left-hand side from Solomon and Byram. The ball popped up to Byram, 10 yards out, narrow angle, and he lashes it past Kaminski. Leeds 1, Luton 0.
And a bit of news from the Championship. Mark Robbins, recently sacked at Coventry, linked with the new vacancy at Hull City. Big names here tonight. Rafael Nadal is here. Gareth Bale is here, as well as the teams make their way out onto the pitch at Anfield. We've got Aston Villa Juventus about to kick off on Talksport 2. Here at Anfield, we've got something special for you. Liverpool against Real Madrid is elite. The teams involved are front and centre of this competition's rich history. The names involved have the fragrance of Ballon d'Or contenders. And when you factor in success, history, fans, global reach and current levels. It's surely the biggest game in club football right now. This is the real deal. So at a venue fit for football kings, on a night overflowing with rich history as well as modern greatness, let Talksport bring you a game of champions. Liverpool against Real Madrid. Here's your commentary team. Former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you on a night that could be so instructive about what lies ahead in the revamped Champions League this season. 5 months into Arne Slot's reign, the Reds have swept almost all before them. 16 wins from 18 games. Best start to a Liverpool managerial reign by some distance. Miles clear in the Premier League, 100% in the Champions League. Just how good could this season end up being? Well, it's the kind of all-encompassing dominance that any side, including the European champions, would be proud of, and one that, right now, Real Madrid can only dream of. This young season has seen Ancelotti's men beaten 4-0 at home by Barcelona, lose to both Lille and Milan in Europe, and 20 teams currently have a better record than them in this competition. Throw in the absence of their leading scorer, and the Reds will eye their best chance of beating them for 15 years on a night that's the yardstick by which both sides will judge themselves. Liverpool line up with Kelleher in goal. Back four of Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. Gravenberch and McAllister in midfield. Salah, Jones and Diaz with Nunez up front. Courtois in goal for Real. Valverde, Raul Asensio, Rudiger and Mendy. Modric, Camavinga and Bellingham. With Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz and Mbappe up front. Conor Bradley has captained his country, Stuart, but he's still a young man, and this is some occasion for him as he makes his first ever start in the Champions League.
Yeah, it certainly is. For any young player to break into his club is fantastic, and then you're stepping out in the magnitude of a game of this. We'll remember this for a long, long time, but he's a player that's caught my eye, and he's worthy of his place in the team, Jim.
Referee tonight is Francois Leterrier, who did the big showpiece event between Spanish and English opposition in the final of the Euros as well. Real in their immaculate, pristine, all white, and they're going to be kicking towards the Kop in the first half. Cheered on by around 3,500 travelling Madridistas away to our left-hand side, most of whom are also in all white. Liverpool in a huddle at the moment in all red. 4 wins out of 4 in this competition for them so far. 2 defeats from 4 for Real Madrid. While nobody's done European dominance like Real Madrid, they've been kings of the continent more times than any other 2 clubs put together. Liverpool can testify just how good they've been from first-hand experience. But never have the Reds raced out of the blocks as they have this season. And now they aim to send out the loudest message as they eye the biggest scout. Real get us underway. They're kicking from left to right in this first half. They lay it back for Courtois. Long ball forward from him. Now the first free kick of the night is conceded by Valverde, just giving Luis Diaz a little welcome to the game.
Yeah, just looking at the starting lineup, and Mbappe started on the left-hand side, and all of a sudden he's just drifted inside, and Bellamy's gone to play on the left-hand side. I don't know whether that was something tactical that they tried to catch Liverpool out on early doors.
Well, they played a 4-4-2 at the weekend. They beat Leganés pretty comfortably, and they played with a 4-4-2. Jude Bellingham played on the left, and it was Mbappe playing through the middle on that occasion. Brahim Diaz had taken Vinicius' role there tonight. Mbappe trying to find a way through here, but easily cleared in the end by Andy Robertson. It's a pump back in his direction. He heads it away. Darwin Nunez will be able to pick it up, and he wins the throw right in front of Arne Slot. Just the one blemish on its home record so far, which came with that defeat to Nottingham Forest. But other than that, it's been perfection. Will he be able to maintain that tonight? Liverpool taking the throw, work it quickly back for Virgil van Dijk, who can shuffle the ball forward. Real coming here, as I mentioned, 21st in the Champions League group, and in no kind of form, having had an unbeaten run of 36. They've now lost 3 of their last 8 in all competitions, all very significant defeats as well. Courtois punts the ball away from the edge of his 6-yard box, out of play. The throw that will be taken on the Liverpool left-hand side. We're a couple of minutes in at Anfield, a raucous Anfield night, in the greatest tradition of fantastic European occasion here. And Robertson will play it to Van Dijk on the edge of his own penalty area, back for Quaveen Kelleher. Now from him to Van Dijk, who will pick it up on the corner of the box. And in his blue boots, he just makes his way forward. There's no pressure coming in on the ball from Brahim Diaz, and he can just poke it forward towards Gravenberch, who can take it, get it between the lines to Alexis McAllister. Diaz is onto his left-hand side. Nunez making his way through the middle. Robertson's on the overlap, and Andy Robertson has played in. He tries to flick it back through the midfield, but straight into the chest of Arda Güler, and Modric can bring it away. Yeah, Diaz done Robertson no favours at all there. Put the ball behind him, he's had to check. And that enabled Real Madrid defenders to get back. And they will now bring it forward with Camavinga, who's 10 yards outside the penalty area. Played back by him to Valverde. Arda Güler again, another one of the youngsters in the Real Madrid side. And boos and whistles telling you that it is the visitors in possession. Here's Camavinga, who's got a lot of miles on the clock for one of such tender years. More than 150 Real Madrid appearances behind him, and he's still only 22. Now Brahim Diaz, the one-time Manchester City player, working it outside the centre circle. Felt he was fouled. The referee says play on. Curtis Jones gets back to his feet. And Modric sprays it wide out towards the left, where it's well controlled by Mendy, just leaning into it. And now finding Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe can come off the left flank, and he's lost possession. Give it away. Darwin Nunez picking it up, riding the challenge of Modric, getting Liverpool onto the front foot quickly, getting it back from Salah. The angle's tight, and it's in. Is it for an own goal? Not quite. Just cleared off the line in the nick of time by Asensio. But Liverpool inches away from having the lead inside 4 minutes. Well, Mbappe sweeping across the pitch, slowed down, looked up, and at that stage Salah took it off him, and a lightning attack by Liverpool, and fortunately managed to be cleared off the line just as it was about to trickle into the back of the net. Great start this from Liverpool, and good defending in the end from Raul Asensio. Only made his full league debut at the weekend. It's his European debut tonight. The shot tipped by Courtois into the young centre-half. A fraction of the ball was over the line. Not very much of it was over the line. He got it away in the nick of time. And for the next phase of play, Liverpool win the first corner of the night. 4.5 gone. 0-0. Liverpool already close. Gravenberch shows for the short one. It's actually played towards the penalty spot. And driven over the bar by Luis Diaz. The old Teddy Sheringham corner routine as he made the darting near post run round opposition players, but couldn't hook enough of his right foot around it. Really good play. It was Nunez who actually pulled back and put an infringement, I think, on Diaz. Actually stopped him getting to the ball. Referees pulled it up for a free kick. Well worked set play though. First Champions League goal of the 8 o'clock kickoffs. Bologna, who are yet to score in the Champions League before tonight, they lead Lille by a goal to nil. The two results from earlier. Now the two teams who lost all 4 games that were in action tonight, Red Star Belgrade and Sturm Graz, both winning. Red Star beating Stuttgart 5-1, and Sturm Graz beating Girona by a goal to nil. Bereft that their only goal is 11th of the season. Liverpool on the front foot here. Ball towards halfway is easily cut out. Mendy out to Bellingham. And back he goes for Rudiger. What have you made of this Real Madrid formation then, with what is ostensibly a 4-4-2 as they played at the weekend? Yeah, as I say, it's a pretty set back line of a 4 and midfield 2, but in front of that there'll be movement, there'll be rotation from the 4 in front. As there is now with Luka Modric darting forward. Modric, who's making his 843rd appearance in club football alone tonight. He's 27 games past 1,000 for club and country. Liverpool get it forward again, cut out well by Valverde, who's filling in at right back at the moment. Lucas Vazquez is back, fit enough for a place on the bench for Real Madrid tonight, but it's still Valverde, the Uruguayan, that's starting at right back. And now the long switch of play out towards the far touchline sees Mbappe flagged offside. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0 the score. We played 7 minutes.
Yeah, as I say, Bradley just had his first opportunity to face up against Mbappe, but fortunately the offside flag come up and he wasn't tested on that occasion.
In the National League, Yeovil 0, Barnet 1, Derby 0, Swansea 1 in the Championship. That Bologna-Lille game is still 0-0. The Bologna goal disallowed after a lengthy VAR check for offside, so they still haven't scored a Champions League goal yet this season. As I mentioned, Derby 0, Swansea 1, and an 8 o'clock kickoff. The deadlock broken very early on at Pride Park. Liverpool have given the ball away. Arda Güler bringing it forward towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to take on his man, and didn't really do so with any conviction. Shoved it past Robertson, who had an easy job just to shuffle across and stay between man and ball and allow it to run out of play. Into the hoardings in front of the Kop and out for a goal kick. 7.5 gone, Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. It's Vipotnik that has scored that goal, incidentally, for Swansea's third of the season. Derby 0, Swansea 1 in the Championship. And also playing tonight at Cardiff, at Leeds, who are already ahead against Luton, at Middlesbrough and Portsmouth as well. Curtis Jones plays the ball out towards the right-hand side for Mo Salah. Salah can bring it forward into the feet of Curtis Jones, who rides the challenge. Salah, one of 4 in red inside the penalty area. If Jones can fashion a cross, he's turned away, goes back out to the right-hand side. Alexis McAllister just darting forward. Bradley in a central position goes back for Gravenberch, now played forward by Van Dijk. Robertson back towards Ryan Gravenberch again, and the Dutchman slings it to his right for Bradley. Back he goes for Konate, and Van Dijk will pick it up inside his half of the centre circle. Diaz, Nunez, headed down by Robertson. Diaz in black gloves tonight on a cold Merseyside evening, just has to shuffle out towards the touchline. Able to maintain possession though. Robertson in towards Darwin Nunez. Strong challenge on him from Asensio. The referee says play on, nothing wrong with it. Wasn't how the crowd saw it. Liverpool swiftly have it back and now get it forward towards Luis Diaz again. And he checks onto his right foot by the corner of the penalty area. Tried to find Robertson, he can. Little nutmeg from Robertson and Valverde. Diaz then with a shot, but he's dragged it wide of the near post. This game brought you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. 9 minutes gone here at Anfield on Talksport. It's Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Stuart Pearce.
I've been so impressed, Jim, with the way Liverpool are playing through the thirds. On turnover of possession, if they get an inkling that the opposition are out of balance in any way, the pace in which they play the ball forward. We watch a lot of Premier League football and teams go backwards more than they do forwards on occasion. Not Liverpool. If they get the opportunity to hurt you, they go after you.
They made a brighter start tonight than they did at the weekend in that game at Southampton, where they thoroughly deserved the victory, but were given more than a helping hand along the way. Camavinga trying to chip one over the top here from Mbappe, and it was well defended by Konate, who just had to take a couple of hasty steps back to make sure that he got his head to that, because had Mbappe got the run on it, it could have been very awkward. Through the opening 10 minutes, Liverpool coming much the closer of the two sides, with the Luis Diaz shot that was blocked. Tipped away into the path of Asensio, came back off him, and the young defender had to clear it off the line to prevent it being an own goal. Shakhtar leading at PSV by a goal to nil. Still 0-0 between Villa and Juventus, and a reminder that that is live for you right now over on Talksport 2. If you've got the Talksport app, it's really easy to seamlessly swipe between the two games and keep abreast of all of the action in two pulsating Champions League ties on home soil tonight. Diaz with a wonderful crossfield ball brought under control by Connor Bradley. Bradley out towards the right-hand side for Salah. Salah just took it on a step and then dragged the studs of his left boot over the top of the ball, forced Mendy to come across, and then Nunez has gone down inside the penalty area off the ball. It is a Liverpool corner. VAR's Jerome Brisard will just be having a look at exactly what happened in there. There's a really angry reaction from the Real players, which suggests that Nunez has gone to ground very easily. Just having a look again at a replay here. Asensio's the defender involved. There's plenty of shirt pulling going on. And then Nunez has gone down holding his face, having been pushed in the upper chest.
Well, that just about sums it up, really, doesn't it? You know, Nunez will get up. They've come on to treat his chest and face, obviously. But nothing will come of this.
Well, it will be a Liverpool corner when we resume. Nunez receiving treatment at the moment. It's very quickly go round the grounds in the Championship. First to Ellen Road, Leeds Luton, Mark Wilson.
Still Leeds 1, Luton 0. Luton thought they'd equalised. Victor Moses played in narrow angle, chipped it over the keeper, but there was Strout. Acrobatic clearance off the line. Leeds 1, Luton 0.
Riverside, Graham Courtney.
Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. Just seen a golden chance for Rovers. Ball floated to the far side of the Borough 6-yard area. Ty Dolan, though, headed it wide. Should have scored. Borough 0, Rovers 0.
Champions League action in Glasgow. David Tanner.
12 minutes gone, Celtic 0, Club Brugge 0, and it's the Belgians who are dominating the ball. Celtic are not enjoying their press. The best chance was when Hatate was dispossessed and Ferran Hutla smashed a 20-yarder just past Schmeichel's post. Celtic 0, Club Brugge 0.
And Nunez has had his treatment. He's back on his field, on his feet, on the field, and he gets a yellow card. And Asensio has also been given a yellow card. Liverpool will take the corner over on the right-hand side. It's the first corner of the game. 13 minutes gone here on Talksport at Anfield.
I'm looking here, just in front of us, down here to the right-hand side, nearest to us. Van Dijk's being shepherded by Modric, and I may be wrong, that might be a bit of a mismatch.
Well, that's at the far post, and McAllister is in there as well. Van Dijk's got clear of Modric, and he comes towards the near post. It's cleared eventually by Camavinga, then headed away by Gulesh on the edge of his penalty area, and it's an excellent flick header as well, because they might be able to launch a counter-attack here with Bellingham. Robertson very quickly back goal side, and Bellingham was forced to go back inside his own half, and Mendy, and now Modric will pick it up in the heart of midfield and drift one out towards Arda Gulesh on the Real Madrid right. That's worth bearing in mind, though, for future set pieces, because if they're gambling by playing Modric up against Van Dijk, that could be a very profitable avenue for Liverpool.
Yeah, they're obviously playing zonal and just allocating one or two players as blockers of runners, and well, I'm sure Van Dijk will be more than pleased to see Modric marking him.
Well, Van Dijk has got a couple of goals this season, scored in the San Siro, also scored at Arsenal. Now for the big occasion, here's Valverde to Camavinga. Camavinga working it through the midfield. The Swansea go 2 up at Derby, and Monaco take the lead against Benfica. It's Pereira with that second Swansea goal. Derby 0, Swansea 2 in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Modric taking a free kick quickly for Real, out towards Gulesh. Left-footed ball swung inside the penalty area. Bellingham coming to attack it, and it's been judged to have hit Van Dijk last. It's a corner that's been given. I'm not sure that it should have been, judging by Van Dijk's reaction, because he was vehemently complaining to Francois Letechier that it was the wrong call, and the replay shows that he's right.
Yeah, indeed. As I say, you can tell by the player's reaction on that one.
So a corner that will be taken by Luka Modric, wearing 10 for Real Madrid, in front of the Kop. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. Well, the only 15 minutes have raced by. There's more pushing and shoving going on. Bradley and Rudiger are the two players getting involved. The ball is swept in towards the near post, easily headed away by Robertson. And it goes out for a throw that will be taken on the Real Madrid right. Modric has had to retreat a good 30-40 yards to be able to take it. Back from him to Valverde. Straight ball forward from him. Arda Gulesh looking for the flick. Wasn't forthcoming. Maybe just brushed the top of his head on his way through towards Kelleher.
A lot's talked about the Liverpool squad and the talented outfield players, but with Alisson coming back to fitness, Kelleher has been a massive plus for Liverpool, hasn't he, over recent weeks?
Well, when you complain that you think perhaps your future lies away from the club because you want more first-team football, and then the number one keeper gets injured, it kind of ups the stakes a little bit for you as the ball is played inside the penalty area. Darwin Nunez with the acrobatic, trying to set up Alexis McAllister with an overhead kick. McAllister going for an overhead of his own, and then Gravenberch claiming that he had his legs caught between Modric and wasn't in a position to be able to play the ball, but no foul was given. And Mbappe will pick it up over on the left-hand side for Real. He then ends up on the deck and is claiming that he was put to the ground by a Liverpool player, and the referee concurs. Yellow card is shown.
Well, for those individuals that are old enough to watch wrestling on World of Sport, I think it was, in the 70s, Van Dijk has just clotheslined Mbappe. Get that vision in your head.
Well, the ball was played forward, and Van Dijk just came across and has perpetuated a move that Jim Breaks would be proud of. And Kylian Mbappe is the Real Madrid equivalent of Sid Crybaby Cooper lying on the deck. Ball from Modric, swung inside the penalty area, is headed away. A yellow card was shown in Gravenberch's direction for Van Dijk's challenge. Incidentally, we'll try and clear that up for you. Liverpool bring it away. They end up winning a throw on this near touch line, the left. We played 17 minutes. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0 here on Talksport.
Yeah, it's got a good intensity to this game, as you would fully expect. Liverpool have been very impressive playing through the thirds. McAllister and Jones taking up really intelligent positions behind the back line and stretching the back line of their midfield. Modric and Camavinga have got to marshal them if they possibly can.
Well, the general consensus at the moment is that yellow card was shown to Ryan Gravenberch, but it was clearly Virgil van Dijk's challenge. So that's one to watch. Valverde on the edge of his own penalty area to play it forward towards Bellingham via Rudiger, and now it goes out of the Real Madrid left-hand side. Mendy sprinting forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Mbappe twisting and turning, trying to get the better of Curtis Jones, who's stayed goal side. Just a little niggle between the pair of them once the ball has gone. Modric then plays it to his right-hand side for Valverde. Camavinga is able to pick it up. Modric has got it again. Modric is 15 yards inside Liverpool territory. Modric down to the Real Madrid right. Worked forward. A little layoff comes from Brahim Diaz. Now Valverde taking on McAllister, able to stand the ball up towards the far post, but too high for everybody, and it sails over the head of Mendy, who's the target. Liverpool will be able to pick it up. They might be able to launch a counter-attack. Good early ball forward. Nunez has run from inside his own half. Didn't quite have the strength and power to get there ahead of Raul Asensio. And the Real Madrid travelling fans love that from the young defender.
Well, it's the highest standard of football in Europe, this. And to be honest with you, it showed then. Great attacking play, great defensive play by Asensio as well.
Here's Curtis Jones. To Salah. Salah turning inside the penalty area. The challenge came from him on Camavinga. And the referee says he caught him, but Real are in possession. They're able to bring it forward. National League leaders Forest Green a goal up at home to Halifax. This one's 0-0 with 19 minutes gone. And the ball is played back through the midfield for Real Madrid to Valverde, but so much of the play has been concentrated actually in the half that Liverpool are defending. Not in areas that's really likely to hurt Liverpool, but in the midfield third really, but probably more of it inside the Liverpool half than the Real Madrid half so far. Chances very much at a premium. Liverpool coming the closest with that fourth minute. The effort that was cleared off the line after what would have been an own goal. Mbappe getting it forward for Bellingham. Still 0-0 live over on Talksport 2, incidentally, in the Aston Villa-Juventus game. You're listening to Liverpool against Real Madrid in the Champions League, live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Liverpool have got it down towards Luis Diaz.
There's been a lot of talk about Slot changing the way Liverpool play a lot. I think he's embraced what Klopp done with the team, that lightning attack approach, but he's coupled it as well with, you know, a steady build-up. I wouldn't say a slow build-up, a steady build-up when it's on.
Diaz losing out. Camavinga can bring it away. The yellow card for Gravenberch, incidentally, for dissent, which means that Van Dijk got away without having a yellow card for what Stuart described as a clotheslining of Kylian Mbappe. Camavinga bringing the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area, and that'll be a free kick. Perhaps needlessly conceded by Darwin Nunez, but his hands around the shoulders of Camavinga pushed him to the ground, and a free kick in a really good area right of centre. Now, some breaking news tonight. Talksport understand that Leicester set to appoint Ruud van Nistelrooy as their new manager. Leicester away to Brentford on Saturday, and Van Nistelrooy could be in charge by then. Also speculation that Frank Lampard is going to get the Coventry job, and that Mark Robins, the man he will replace, is the early favourite to become the new manager of Hull, who sacked Tim Walter earlier this afternoon. 22 minutes gone here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool with 3 in the wall. And Arda Güler standing over it, and he's put it over the bar. Keller had it covered anyway. He took 3 or 4 hasty steps to his left, and then just jumped up with his arms down by his side, knowing the ball was going to clear the bar by about 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah, as I say, good opportunity there to make Kelleher work. Got to hit the target, though. I had a visitation on Sunday to a sport that I've not seen before. Wheelchair football. Or power chair football. Quite incredible. If you get the chance to see it on, I think they stream it. I watched the Championship games. They have a load over a weekend at Nottingham this weekend just gone. Fantastic spectacle, really good.
Yeah, full of admiration for everybody taking part in that. When you said you'd had a visitation, I thought you'd had Ian Holloway's wife round. The ball is with Andy Robertson, driving it in from the edge of the penalty area. Gravenberch flicking it on. Oh, chance to turn potential inside the box. Out comes Courtois. Gets a right hand to it. 3 Liverpool players. Goal side of the last Real Madrid defender. But nobody could quite get the touch to divert it past Courtois, who was out, made himself big. And the ball hit him, and Real get it away. More signs of encouragement, though, for Liverpool.
They certainly are. And the biggest thing that Liverpool do in these games, it's been 4 or 5 times now, they've built play up and they've got 3, 4, 5 players all in the attacking zone between the goalpost, and it just doubles the opportunity you've got of getting a goal or a knockdown. There was 3 players there, as you pointed out, Jim, bearing down on the goalkeeper.
In the Champions League, Monaco 1, Benfica 0. Shakhtar leading at PSV by a goal to 0 in the Championship. Swansea 2 up at Derby in the 8 o'clock kickoff. In the 7:45s, Leeds 1, Luton 0, goalless at Cardiff and at Middlesbrough. And after the electrical failures at Fratton Park, we're expecting that game between Portsmouth and Millwall to kick off around 8:30. So that's in 6 or 7 minutes' time. The National League, Barnet a goal up at Yeovil. And you're up to date with everything that is going on as Konate plays the ball out towards the right-hand side for Liverpool. Ryan Gravenberch in possession. And he can lay it out towards Conor Bradley, who takes a touch on halfway and then finds Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk just works it forward for the retreating Alexis McAllister. Camavinga shadowing him every step of the way through the midfield. Liverpool work it wide for Jones. Back from him to Bradley. Now to Konate again. The ball just traces a path through the centre circle as Liverpool work it from right to left. So 0-0 here with 24 minutes gone, and if it were to end all square tonight, clearly a much better result for Liverpool than it is for Real Madrid when you consider the state of the group at large. Salah's got the ball. Good movement ahead of him from Curtis Jones. Just tries to chip it forward, but it's cut out. Now Real will work it back for Courtois, who takes a touch and then wants another, and then immediately turns the other way through his 6-yard box and chips it out towards the left-hand side for Mendy. Bellingham is back there. Gravenberch making life difficult for him, but by foul means not fair, and it's a free kick to Real just outside their own penalty area.
Yeah, the Real players not having much chance to settle on the ball. Liverpool very aggressive on the press, getting numbers around players that are on the ball. I've just been watching McAllister for the last few minutes. The way his perpetual movement, moving into space, scanning, pointing, probing, in and out of possession. Very intelligent player.
And this is first ever Champions League campaign. Alexis McAllister has netted against Bologna within it. Liverpool getting this far by winning away to Milan, against Bologna here in Leipzig, and then a brilliant second half display against Bayer Leverkusen here, with this man, Luis Diaz, getting a hat-trick that day. Just works it through the midfield looking for Jones. Modric clears it, but they can't hold it up upfield. Now, Brahim Diaz was the culprit on that occasion, and Modric threw his arms up in despair at the fact. Van Dijk back for Alexis McAllister, another in black gloves tonight. Back it goes for Curtis Jones. Now Ryan Gravenberch's got it in midfield. Robertson thought about making a darting run forward and then stuck the brakes on quickly, but he's still in space on the Liverpool left-hand side if they elect to work it in that direction. Big game at the bottom of the Championship tonight. QPR leading at Cardiff by a goal to 0. They're looking for their first win in 14, and they've scored just their 3rd goal in the last 6 games. Shelar with it. I say it's their 3rd goal in 6. The other 2 have been own goals, but they lead at Cardiff coming up the half-time tonight. Cardiff 0, QPR 1. Here's Virgil van Dijk. Forward towards Conor Bradley. 27 minutes gone here on Talksport. Not just live football for you today on the Talksport network, live cricket as well. After the Aston Villa Juventus game over on Talksport 2, it's the first day of the first test, England in New Zealand. And Talksport's Steve Harmison will be joining us at half-time in this game to have a look ahead to that. But if you've never heard Talksport's cricket coverage, it's award-winning, very entertaining indeed, and it's coming your way over on Talksport 2 tonight and for the next few days as well as the first test gets underway in New Zealand. England are in possession here, it's 0-0.
Has it won as many awards as that Adrian Durham fella?
Well, no, but everything is relative. Modric back inside the box, and Rudiger's going to be able to get it away. And Camavinga, pass one. And then just the forced off balance to flick the ball back to Luka Modric rather than continue his driving run. Now Real will just slow it down for a moment in the midfield with Camavinga. Pressure on them after the defeats to Lille and at home to Milan last time out. Remember, they were 2-0 down against Dortmund in one of the other games and came back to win it 5-2. So it's been an inauspicious Champions League campaign so far, but they got it now with Mbappe flashing a ball across the edge of the penalty area. Arda Güler with almost a no-look ball down the right-hand side of the box, and coming across the cover, Robertson's forced to concede a corner.
Yeah, as I say, good defending there, both by Robertson, backed up adequately by Van Dijk in behind him.
Modric coming across to take the corner on the right-hand side. Luka Modric, whose only goal here at Anfield was way back in 2011, coming into tonight without a goal in his last 35 games, which is just about by the longest run of his career. Left arm above his head, takes this corner, a right-footed away swinger, headed well on the edge of the box by Konate, and then a slice left-footed drive goes well wide, and now to play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Keller. It was Arda Güler that missed the target, but someone's hit the target at Celtic Park. Here's David Tanner.
26 minutes gone, it's Celtic 0, Bruges 1. I told you Celtic weren't enjoying the Belgians' press. Well, Nicholas Kuhn, the Celtic winger, was running backwards into his own penalty box. He gave the ball to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who turned awkwardly and passed the ball back to where he thought Kasper Schmeichel was, but he wasn't in his goal. He was wide right, and the ball trickled into the back of the net. Shocker for Celtic. It's Celtic 0, Club Bruges 1.
Celtic coming into that with 7 points, Bruges with 6. And the Belgians, who've already beaten Aston Villa in this campaign, leading in the East End of Glasgow tonight. Celtic 0, Bruges 1, Villa 0, Juventus 0. Live over on Talksport 2. Earlier, wins for Red Star and Sturm Graz. This one's 0-0 with half an hour gone between Liverpool and Real Madrid as Salah tries to roll his way past Ferland Mendy, who stopped him and eased him to the ground. Free kick to Liverpool, about 8 yards outside the penalty area, level with the right-hand edge of the box.
Yeah, intelligent play there by Salah. He's pinned his man way before the ball's coming and just said to Bradley, slide it into us and I'll just roll him, and I either beat him or I get contact. Another opportunity for Liverpool to put it into the box here. Big numbers in the box.
So Liverpool have got 6 in red inside the penalty area. Real Madrid have got 9 back to defend it. In fact, Modric just takes another couple of steps back. He's back inside the box as well. So just Mbappe as a one-man wall. Rudiger just trying to keep an eye on Van Dijk. In comes the delivery, too close to Courtois. He's punched it away. Gravenberch couldn't quite read the bounce and loses out to Brahim Diaz. The counter-attack could be on 3 against 3. Real getting in forward quickly. Brilliant sliding challenge from Conor Bradley. That is magnificent. Won the ball cleanly inside the penalty area with a rumbustious sliding challenge on Kylian Mbappe. And you can hear what the cop thought about that. Now Liverpool get on the front foot. Jones to Gravenberch. Konate to Van Dijk. I could pay no higher a compliment than saying you'd have been proud of that one.
Jim, I'll tell you what, my heart lifted then as a man who was quite proud of a slide tackle myself. That was absolutely exquisite, and every Liverpool fan to a person got on their feet and applauded that.
There was simply no margin for error. He didn't need any. Diaz, Modric ahead of him, and Diaz has got it back. Diaz again to McAllister. Bradley's name now being sung. Chipped over the top by McAllister, and a header goes just wide from Darwin Nunez. It's a little ball flicked up to the corner of the box. Nunez slightly off balance, didn't really get too much power in it, but he got it bobbling past Thibaut Courtois, looked nervously over his right shoulder and saw it go just past the post and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Nunez was trying to head it back across the goal, but it sort of skimmed off the side of his head, and it ended up being an effort at goal more so than a header backwards.
Another goal in the Championship at Ellen Road for Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Leeds United 2, Luton Town 0, corner for Leeds. Pascal Strike's header beautifully saved by Kaminski, but there was Joel Perrault, yard out to lash it in. Leeds 2, Luton 0.
7th of the season for Leeds, leading scorer. They go back on top of the Championship if they win tonight, and they're 2 goals to the good. 33 minutes gone here. Diaz back towards Jones, and on a nervous night, just going back to that Bradley challenge. It's amazing how just one flashpoint like that can really engage the crowd again and bring them forward, and it was almost the catalyst for Liverpool scoring moments later.
Well, exactly that, and he's dealt with Mbappe really well. Mbappe's run it in 3 or 4 times now, not been panicked by it, just jockeyed in, backed off and said, OK, fine, you're not coming past me.
Gravenberch now ships over the top for Diaz, header from him, punched away by Courtois. Unorthodox but effective goalkeeping. Back in from Salah, gets the second bite of the cherry after the first one was blocked. Bradley's fought on the overlap for him. Bradley back in behind Curtis Jones, and he couldn't control it, and Camavinga can bring it away. He's found Brahim Diaz, and he can turn. Foul then on him from Jones, and a shot from Arda Güler from 50 yards, which was comfortably claimed by Kelleher. And the referee has said, well, that was the advantage. And so Liverpool have got it forward, and they've got it back into Real Madrid territory again. 34 gone at 0-0 here on Talksport. Robertson played down towards Luis Diaz. Curtis Jones showing for him. Back it goes to Van Dijk with a yellow captain's armband, a shining beacon around his left arm. He plays a lovely reverse ball in. Robertson's first time ball bounces inside the 6-yard box. No one can get there in time. Courtois watches it away. Salah then works it in. Modric nudges it away from McAllister. Van Dijk mops up a rail, look to break quickly and try and get Brahim Diaz in. And Liverpool will be able to bring it forward with Gravenberch. And this has been the last 4 or 5 minutes a better passage of more sustained possession from the men in red. They get it forward here towards Jones, trying to get the better of Modric. He's done it. Pulled back to the edge of the 6-yard box. Rudiger there to clear acrobatically, and he goes out of play for a Liverpool throw, taken quickly by Robertson down towards Jones. Of course, you can't be offside from a throw, and he was almost on the dead ball line receiving it, lays it back, and Liverpool get another throw near the edge of the penalty area.
Tell you what, they look fantastic in their play, Liverpool. If it is a boxing match, they've won every round, but what they haven't done, he's got that knockout punch or goal in our profession.
And now McAllister has come back and won it back from Bellingham, and a right-footed shot from Bradley drifts innocuously wide. This has been a good spell from Liverpool, but it still is 0-0.
Yeah, they've been really good. You can tell that they're brimming with confidence, Liverpool. And they look as though they're getting closer and closer by the minute to breaking this deadlock.
Well, don't forget the 3 more European matches tomorrow night on the Talksport network, involving Chelsea, Manchester United and Spurs. The United game at home at Bodo Glimt, the first at Old Trafford for Ruben Amorim. And that's our live game on Talksport here tomorrow night, kicking off at 8. Over on 2, Chelsea go to Heidenheim in the Conference League, and it's followed by Spurs against Roma. Real Madrid will bring the ball forward with Mbappe. Waiting and waiting for Bellingham to make his run forward. He tried to thread the ball in, couldn't get it right. Referee takes a tumble. Robertson has to play it back for Kelleher. They played it at a good angle for him, and Kelleher will play it out to the left-hand side for Van Dijk. Van Dijk pumping it forward. Luis Diaz is in there. Darwin Nunez has won it back from Camavinga. Referee almost fell over again. Here's Curtis Jones turning neatly, goes out to the right for Mo Salah. Bradley outside it. Salah cutting it inside. Jones, and it's over the bar. Still 0-0. 8 to go to half-time. Half-time whistle has gone on Teesside. Middlesbrough Blackburn. Graham Courtney.
Yeah, it's Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. Only a couple of chances really, Jim. Ty Dolan for Blackburn Rovers on the quarter-hour mark with a header wide. Should have scored. Then on the half-hour, George Edmondson for the Borough. Shot straight at the former Borough goalkeeper, Ainsley Pear. Still waiting for Rovers to have a shot on target. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Second goal for Shakhtar Donetsk. 2 up at PSV. So they're up to 7 points, which pulls them level with Real Madrid as things stand in the live table right now. Courtois getting the hurry up from the crowd, takes a goal kick, was a poor one. Liverpool have got it back. Robertson drove the ball in at height. Rudiger did really well to volley it away off balance and allows himself a little fist pump. Delighted with that to get it away. Liverpool will come again here with Ryan Gravenberch. They're up for this. Meaning business, but not yet in business. Gravenberch getting it back here for Van Dijk. Now McAllister. We'll go back 15 years for the last time Liverpool beat Real Madrid. Now it was here in the round of 16. 4-0 that night. 2 for Gerrard, Fernando Torres, and probably only the most ardent Liverpool supporters will remember there was Andrea De Sena, the Italian defender that scored the 4th that night. It's been all Real Madrid in this fixture since, 7 wins and a draw. But Liverpool looking to try and partially rectify the balance tonight. Looking very, very good value at the moment. Here's Gravenberch. 0-0 the score though. Gravenberch with Diaz making a run one-sided in. That created space for Robertson the other. Gravenberch's got it again and turns and tries to get past Camavinga. He's continued his run. Played down to him, and Camavinga, well, I thought took his legs away from underneath him. Now the referee says goal kick.
I think the referee's been pretty lenient actually to both teams, and I'm not against that, to be honest with you. It's not broke the game up in any way, shape or form. I'll tell you what impresses me with Liverpool, Jim. The amount of numbers they get into the box very, very quickly. Every time they have a chance of an attack, either with a slow build-up or a quick one, there's at least 4 Liverpool players in that box.
Real will be able to bring it out from the back. Asensio just got caught. Play goes on. Arda Güler. And McAllister knew the danger of letting him get too far, and he's fouled him. And he picks up a yellow card that will see him suspended for Liverpool's next Champions League game, which is away at Girona. McAllister, third man in red book tonight, and that will be a suspension. Half-time at Ellen Road. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Leeds United 2, Luton 0. Sam Byram's acrobatic scissor kick volley put Leeds in front in 10 minutes, and then Joel Perrault on hand after Pascal Strouk's header was well saved. At the other end, Victor Moses' effort cleared off the line wonderfully by Strouk. Leeds 2, Luton 0.
Half-time there, 5 minutes to go to the break here. Still 0-0. Well, having taken that free kick for the foul by McAllister, they work it very swiftly back inside their own half. To Courtois, now out towards Rudiger.
The press from the front from Liverpool, sensational. I've got to say, you've got Salah, Nunez and Diaz all putting pressure on.
But when it breaks down, they could be in trouble, and it's 5 against 4. Ball worked out towards Modric, inside the penalty area, really well blocked. Canade coming back, and then winning it again, fouled in the process. No, what's the referee giving? He has given the free kick. It looks as though he'd wait play on. But he hasn't. So it'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Let's go to Fratton Park. Here's Alex Crew.
Game off, Jim. We've just had the announcement on the PA system. Due to circumstances beyond the club's control, this match will not take place tonight. The Fratton end, away to my left, is still in darkness. There's also a concern about how the travelling Millwall fans would get home if it kicked off any later. Match abandoned.
So Portsmouth against Millwall will be played at some subsequent date. The Swansea leading 2-0 at Derby. Middlesbrough against Blackburn 0-0. QPR a goal up at Cardiff, Leeds 2, Luton 0. Gravenberch getting it forward here for Jones, who was fouled. The referee's played a good advantage again. Gravenberch strides forward, little reverse ball in from him, well read by Raul Asensio. He gets it away and out for a throw that Bradley wants to take quickly for Liverpool. And he's thrown it 6 yards to his left-hand side for Curtis Jones. Back it goes for Bradley again. Led with the edge of the box, a right-footed curving ball in, and Rudiger can stoop and head that one clear for Kylian Mbappe, who has played here once before and scored, but it was back in his Monaco days. Real now able to bring the ball forward as a Liverpool player goes down, and Rudiger leant over him and had a word. Arda Güler getting it out towards the right for Valverde. Sweet sliding challenge from Robertson to win that one back. And then Robertson will clear it further upfield and take a touch and then loses out. And Brahim Diaz has got it, and Robertson, the only way he could remedy the situation was to put the ball out of play for a corner. It was an interesting clash off the ball though between McAllister and Rudiger took exception to it.
Yeah, I think McAllister went down cheaply, I thought, and Rudiger, just as he was going past him, just told him what he thought of him. And to be fair, Robertson done extremely well there. He'd lost the ball and he was chasing Diaz into his own box. Diaz was waiting for contact, and Robertson was cute enough to not get involved in that.
2.5 minutes to go in the first half here at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool reached 400 minutes since they last conceded a Champions League goal. In comes Modric's delivery. It's cleared out towards Brahim Diaz. Poke forward, good defending by Luis Diaz. Liverpool will be able to bring it away with Darwin Nunez, who gets a really good angle on the ball out towards Salah. Salah to Jones. Jones continuing to take the responsibility, almost took the ball off the toes of Salah, as the two were very quickly in the same postcode there. And then Jones furious with himself. And you can see him from here muttering and looking up to the heavens as he just pokes the ball back for Bradley, but he felt as though that was a chance wasted, and a good counter-attacking opportunities come to nothing. Back from Robertson to Virgil van Dijk. 90 seconds to go in the first half. And Mbappe, as he dispossessed Bradley, he has. Will he get the opportunity to try and run him? Bradley showing him inside to where there's defensive cover. Mbappe still got it. To his right-hand side for Arda Güler. Now to his right for Valverde. Liverpool backpedaling towards the edge of the box. Van Dijk standing firm. Dispossesses Mbappe. Camavinga's in strongly and gets it back from Diaz. Real will try and come again. Modric fall for Camavinga again. 44 on the clock. 0-0. Camavinga coming inside. Back for Luka Modric. Modric, who's won this competition 6 times. Now a left-footed shot from Arda Güler, literally closer to going out of play for a throw than going past Kelleher. Now we're drifting towards half-time, now still 0-0 with Liverpool the better team.
Oh, I think they're the better team by far in all elements of what they've done, attacking, midfield play and defending as well. I think they've stopped the threat of Madrid on the counter-attack really, really well. All they haven't done is put the ball in the net, sadly, but listen, if they keep doing what they're doing, that will come.
Villa against Juventus remains 0-0 live for you right now over on Talksport 2. At the live table, Liverpool are top. Real Madrid 19th. We're in 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the half. McAllister down to the left-hand side of the penalty area for Diaz. Diaz pulling it back for Curtis Jones. Can Liverpool get a deserved half-time advantage? Robertson herring past him, slammed the anchors on, and then, as the ball was played back, the offside flag is up. It's a free kick which will be taken by Real in the right-back position. That's going to see us through to half-time at 0-0.
Yeah, that was a long play on. I don't really know the reasoning behind that. Liverpool had 4 or 5, 6 passes, time elapsed, and all of a sudden the flag went up. But they'll be pleased. I think Slot will be extremely pleased with the way his team have played this first half. He can almost sit on his bench and enjoy the spectacle in front of him.
Only almost, though, I guess.
Only almost.
The nervous energy will be there for Arne Slot. Not that you'd know it in the same way that you did with his predecessor. Camavinga getting the better of Jones in the midfield. Might be one last chance for Real Madrid here before half-time. Mbappe's touch a little bit heavy, and that allowed Liverpool the chance to get it away through Bradley, who sends it spinning out towards the right-hand side for what would have been a throw were there time to take it. Half-time here at Anfield. Excellent first half for Liverpool. Nothing to show for it other than the retention of their clean sheet. At the break, Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0.
Stuart Pearce, how does that feel when you've played so well and you've bossed the game and the opposition might be star-studded, but they haven't really caused you any problems, and yet it's still 0-0? Do you go in disappointed, with the scoreline, or do you go in elated because you've lost the game?
I think you can only be elated by what certainly the manager's seen, the coaching staff have seen, and they've been so good, Liverpool. I've been so impressed with them. Great energy out of possession, pressing. To a man, everyone goes after the ball. You know, in 2s and 3s, in packs at times, from the front to the back. When they've been breached and Madrid have got at the back line, the defenders have defended brilliantly one-on-one, and the movement in midfield to create space and numbers in the box. I made that point. That's been the most impressive thing. When Liverpool look as though they're going to put it in the box in any way, shape or form, take a snapshot of the penalty box and see how many Liverpool players in there. There's 3, 4s and 5s, sometimes 6s making the box, and they don't make it willy-nilly. They make it, and still in a defensive structure behind them, they've got great shape so they can't be countered.
And that moment when Liverpool, they had 3 players queuing up to score, and it went straight into Courtois, who beat it out. But it shows, I mean, he's a world-class goalkeeper. He's a big fella as well. You have to put it either side of him, but that's how commanding he is. I think it's a bit of resilience from Thibaut Courtois, but he's a difficult keeper to get past. They've got to do it in the second half, Liverpool.
Well, he's a big old unit, and where he's done quite well tonight, he's got a punch on a lot of things. That stretch of ease has stopped crosses when it looks as though a Liverpool player might get a head on it. But listen, you've got to be delighted with that performance if you're Liverpool. Sometimes you can't guarantee you're going to score, you can't guarantee a victory, but you can guarantee if you keep playing like that, there's every chance. If they can carry on playing like they are, there's silverware coming in Liverpool's direction this year.
Mbappe's been quiet, Bellingham even quieter, but the moment of the half was Conor Bradley's sliding tackle on Mbappe. That was perfectly executed. It kind of makes me wonder if they'll switch him to the other side or in the middle just to try and get some joy in the second half. But it was a brilliant moment for the crowd, for him, for the game.
In general, Bradley's dealt with Mbappe's threat really, really well. He's not dived in, he's not give his wicket away. He stayed on his feet and said, OK, what are you going to do? You're not going to run past me, you don't intimidate me. And when that challenge come in, the whole of Anfield were on their feet. And even old war horses like me and you, it brought a smile to our face, a challenge like that, didn't it?
I thought you were going to give him a standing ovation. You were on the brink. I know you were. It was a brilliant moment. It really lifted the crowd. They went straight up the other end, nearly scored actually. But it remains at half-time. Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Half-time at Celtic. Stuart and I have watched the only goal in the first half. It's an absolute calamity. David Tanner.
You can say that again. It's Celtic 0, Club Brugge 1 at half-time. It was Tyrone Mings who handed Bruges their last goal via a penalty in their last game. 3 weeks on, Cameron Carter-Vickers has gone one better and scored a goal for the Belgians. Celtic winger Nicholas Kuhn was pressed back towards his own goal. He passed the ball back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who didn't look as he passed the ball back towards Kasper Schmeichel. Now, Schmeichel was on the outside of his right-hand post at that time, and then had to scamper to try and catch the ball and stop it from going in at his left-hand post. He didn't get there in time. Celtic Park in shock. The Belgians deserve to be in front. It's Celtic 0, Club Brugge 1.
Believe me, it is an absolute shocker. Elsewhere, Lille won up away to Bologna, who had a goal ruled out early on. Borussia Dortmund lead away to Dinamo Zagreb. Jamie Bino-Gittins 4-5 for the Reading-born England under-21 star. Monaco lead Benfica 1-0 and Shakhtar 2-0 up away to PSV. Villa Juventus is live on Talksport 2. It is goalless at half-time. Championship, Cardiff 0, QPR 1. Leeds 2 up against Luton, heading top. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 0. Portsmouth Millwall called off because the lights don't work. And Derby 0, Swansea 2 at half-time in an 8 o'clock kick-off. Just the 1 goal in 3 National League games, and Barnet lead at Yeovil by a goal to nil. It means the leaders Forest Green are being held goalless at home to Halifax Town. Here at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Hey, is the new Vauxhall Corsa on sale now?
Yes, of course.
Does it look dope?
Yes, of course.
Is it fun to drive?
Yes, of course.
Does it have advanced tech?
Yes, of course.
And I can lease it for just $269 a month and $269 initial rental?
Yes, of course.
Visit your Vauxhall retailer or search New Corsa. Personal contract hire. New Corsa ES 1.2 turbo 100 PS T&Cs. Subject to status and availability. 18+. You will not own the vehicle. Stellantis Financial Services.
Poor Kim. It's school pickup at that time of year again, when you walk through the school gates only to hear an orchestra of sneezing, coughing, and whatever that is. At Boots, we have what you need to relieve symptoms of winter illnesses when they come your way. Look after yourself and the people you care for this season. Skip the wait for the GP with our cough and cold range, including pharmacy-only medicines. Boots, with you for life.
He hits it first time. What a body, what a goal!
Ultimate Football Radio Kick-Off with Adrian Durham on Talksport.
Friday night, two terrific games. Brighton, Southampton in the Premier League on Talksport. That's our 150th commentary of the season on the Talksport network. We're not even into December. I'll be at Sheffield United Sunderland Friday night. That big one at the top of the table is live on Talksport 2. Here at Anfield, goalless. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org.
So it's still Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. Liverpool have bossed it. They're 23-20 to win. Real are 10-3. The draw 17-10. Talksport 2, it's also goalless. Aston Villa Juventus. Villa 7-4 to win it. Juve are 3-1. The draw is 6-5. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. GambleAware.org.
New Zealand, England. The first test is live on Talksport 2 a little bit later on tonight from 10 o'clock after the Villa game. We'll head to New Zealand very shortly, listening to the Champions League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Loads of managerial news going on. Head to talksport.com to find out all the details. We understand that Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to be appointed Leicester City manager after they sacked Steve Cooper on Sunday. With more on this, Talksport's chief football correspondent Alex Crook, who's at Fratton Park where the game against Millwall has been called off. Alex, you've been working hard finding out more and more information on managers. Ruud van Nistelrooy, when he was in charge at United, did well against Leicester. Is that what's got him this job?
He did. First and foremost, thank you to Leicester and Ruud for keeping me busy, because there's not really much to report here. Actually, both sets of players are out doing warm downs, which is quite bizarre. The floodlights are on now, but you say game off at Fratton Park. Ruud van Nistelrooy, interim manager of Manchester United. Of course, they beat Leicester in the Cup, in the EFL Cup, in his first game. Scored 5 goals, beat them convincingly in the Premier League as well. And it's my understanding that the Foxes hierarchy were impressed by the way United played in terms of the attacking brand of football that Van Nistelrooy wanted to deploy, and the relationship that he seemed to have with those Manchester United players. I'm told that he was very well regarded in the dressing room, and that's a big factor in this decision as well. But I also think there's a money aspect. I messaged you tonight privately a couple of days ago and said I can see it being Ruud van Nistelrooy almost by default, and I don't mean that with any disrespect to Van Nistelrooy, but it was pretty clear that Leicester weren't really in a financial position to pay any compensation. That ruled out the likes of Carlos Corberán at West Brom and Lee Carsley, the England under-21 coach, as he is again now, who I also understand was in their thoughts. Graham Potter, who was a target in the summer and would have been a top target again, quickly ruled himself out. So did David Moyes. So they weren't exactly blessed with options, and it is a gamble, isn't it, for Leicester City, as well as Van Nistelrooy did as interim manager at United, as well as he did in Holland, winning the Dutch Cup over there. He doesn't really have that experience of fighting a relegation battle. That's what he's walking into. I think he will galvanise the dressing room, who didn't enjoy it under Steve Cooper. I think that was clear for all to see. I'm fascinated to see how this works out. What I do know is, speaking from to sources at United a couple of days ago, Van Nistelrooy, having had that little taste of Premier League management, was desperate for another shot. I wonder if he expected it to come so quickly, but I wish him well.
I wondered which private message between us you were going to reveal, then I got a little bit worried for a moment. There's other managerial news as well. You told us all yesterday that Hull City were about to make a change. They were sounding out new managers while Tim Volter was still in charge. Well, he has gone today. And please note Martin Keown and Alan Pardew. Alex Crook was absolutely bang on with that information. Who's going to replace him? And there's news at Coventry as well.
Yeah, there is. Frank Lampard will be going in at Coventry. That is pretty much a done deal. He's expected to be in the dugout when they play Cardiff in the Championship this weekend. Joe Edwards, his long-term assistant, had a bit of a stint at Millwall as manager on his own right there. He's going in as well. So that is an interesting appointment. I think Doug King, the owner, was looking for a big-name manager to replace Mark Robins. And, of course, Lampard has experience in the Championship, having led Derby to a playoff final. And I mentioned Mark Robins there. My understanding is that he's now a contender to go straight back to work at Hull City. One of the options that they're considering, as you say, having parted company with Tim Volter, the owner, Atune Ilikali, actually spoke to local journalists before the game last night and said whatever the result, Volter wouldn't lose his job. As you say, that was contrary to the information that I had, that they were already sounding out alternative targets. And I think the fan reaction last night, which was very negative towards the dugout, pretty much made his mind up. So Hull in the market for a new manager, and we'll keep a close eye on Mark Robins, who I think will be an excellent appointment for them.
Alex, great stuff. Thank you very much. Safe trip home from Fratton Park, where the game was called off. Portsmouth Millwall. To the other side of the world, let's head to New Zealand, to Christchurch more specifically, where the first test is going to happen this evening in around about an hour, live on Talksport 2, ball by ball commentary of New Zealand against England. Steve Harmison is there for the Talksport network. How's Christchurch? How are England? Are you confident?
It's beautiful, Adrian. Yeah, good evening. There's a picture postcard at this moment in time. There's grass banks all around, which is about 50% full with a lot of English supporters. There's a lot of St George's flags knocking about. I can actually see one with a whole flag on. But England are doing their bowling warm up. Ben Stokes is going through it from the opposite end to the commentary box at the minute. Chris Wokes is bowling from this end in preparation. A few of the England lads are sort of playing keepy ups in the middle. But no, I'm confident that England are going to start well. They've got a strong side out here. They've got a good batting unit, batting cost all the way down to number 10, and a bowling unit which I think on this surface, I think there's going to be a little bit of tennis ball bounce in it. It's going to be a little bit quicker than what you'll get anywhere else in New Zealand, and I think bowlers on both sides will enjoy bowling on this surface. But England will be confident. But Adrian, New Zealand have just pulled off the unthinkable, which is to win 3-0 in India.
Absolutely incredible. First time they lost at home in over a decade. What about Ben Stokes? Is he fit? Is he focused?
I've just had 2 minutes with him on the side of the field, and the steely determination, the look in his eye was definitely there. The body looks immaculate. He looks $1 million. He really does. It's as good as I've seen Ben Stokes in a long time. He looks as though he's over the knee injury. The hamstring injury caused them problems in the summer. That's all fit. And at this minute in time, he's running in. He's halfway through his run-up. He's running in, bowling at full tilt towards on the practice pitch, right next to the playing surface, and the ball's coming through nicely. So yes, Ben Stokes is fit and he looks ready to go.
Brilliant. Steve, thank you very much. Talksport 2, 10 p.m. If you can't wait till then all of our team are on air on the Talksport Cricket YouTube channel from 9:30 p.m. Listen to it on Talksport 2 from 10 p.m. To get Talksport 2, just download the Talksport app for free. You can swipe between the two stations or tell your smart speaker to play Talksport 2. Liverpool are out. We're waiting for Real Madrid, so we'll head to Elland Road. A quick update in the second half. Mark Wilson.
Yes, so Leeds United 2, Luton Town 0. Sam Byram's acrobatic volley and Joel Perreault's close range finish. Leeds absolutely dominant. Luton just hanging on at the moment. Leeds go top with a win. It's Leeds 2, Luton 0.
What about the Riverside in the Championship? Talksport's Graham Courtney.
Yeah, still Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. Just seen an early chance for the Borough. Ball floated in the Rovers box, and there was Neto Borges. Took it on the half volley, just wide. It's Riley McGee has gone off. Micah Hamilton has come on. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Well, Liverpool are out there waiting. Real Madrid are keeping them waiting. They're just standing in the tunnel under the "This is Anfield" sign, just standing there waiting, chatting among themselves. Arne Slot has had to push through just to get up the tunnel and out to the Liverpool dugout. Antonio Rudiger and Thibaut Courtois lead them out now. Here come Real Madrid for the second half. Liverpool have dominated, but they haven't got the goal they need. Live on Talksport, it's Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0, second half with Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
And Mendy, the last of the Real Madrid players to make his way onto the field, just given a few final instructions as he did so. And then Mo Salah comes over towards the edge of the Liverpool technical area, and he too is just given a few final thoughts before the game resumes. Liverpool, Kelleher in goal, Bradley, Canate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Gravenberch and McAllister, Salah, Jones and Diaz and Nunez. To get the second half underway, they're kicking from left to right, attacking the Kop end in this second half. Courtois in goal for Real Madrid, Valverde, Asensio, Rudiger and Mendy, Gulesh, Camavinga, Modric and Bellingham, and Diaz and Mbappe up front. I don't want to tempt fate, but Kylian Mbappe has not been at his best so far, and a lot of that has been down to the way that Conor Bradley has played. Liverpool with the first long ball of this second half is an absolute peach. Van Dijk now towards the right-hand side of the penalty area, flicked in by Bradley, and it might break for Jones. Can he turn? Right-footed shot from him is blocked, and Modric eventually is in the right place to be able to get it away. Knocked on again by Van Dijk, out towards Andy Robertson. 0-0 here on Talksport in the opening seconds of the second half. Game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Alexis McAllister playing it back for Van Dijk, and forward again. McAllister has it once more. Our coverage also brought to you with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van. Andy Robertson has got the ball. We're finding Alexis McAllister, right-footed clip from him in towards the edge of the penalty area. Rudiger taking a very handsy approach there with Conor Bradley. He almost had his arms around his midriff. No foul though. Salah, Bradley did well, stayed onside, clipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and a corner for Liverpool 90 seconds into the second period.
Yeah, really good play there, set up by Canate, and that partnership, Canate and Van Dijk, it's absolutely fantastic. They've got physical presence, they've got speed, they've got aggression, they've got a little bit of everything between the two of them. And hopefully a goal shortly.
Well, they're both forward and lurking with intent inside that Real Madrid penalty area. The ball is played in. First touch off a Real player, it was Bellingham that got it away, and then a right-footed shot flashed in, and the deflection spun it wide of Courtois. It's Curtis Jones with the effort, and it could have gone anywhere after it hit the nearest Real Madrid player. Courtois was beaten, and Real got a little bit lucky. It's a corner.
They certainly did. Jones done brilliantly, just dragged it from his left foot onto his right, and the shot just deflected past Courtois. No chance of on target.
One corner in the first half for Liverpool, two in the opening couple of minutes of the second. This one comes off the top of a Real head and is caught by Courtois, and he'll be grateful just to have a little bit of respite and the chance to bounce the ball a couple of times inside the penalty area and calm things down. And he's bowled it out here towards Camavinga. And that was a tactic that we saw Southampton employ many times at the weekend, and Liverpool really hunted after them and pressed them. A little bit more recalcitrant in coming forward and applying the press here. Bradley wins it back for Liverpool on halfway, and then Canate will lay it back for Van Dijk, and Van Dijk will turn and get it away from Brahim Diaz. Just the one goal conceded in the Champions League for Liverpool so far. They've scored 10. The one was the first goal of their Champions League campaign. Christian Pulisic scoring it, but Liverpool have now played just a fraction over 400 minutes of Champions League football since then without conceding, which is a run of nearly 7 hours. Van Dijk and Canate played a big part in that, and the two link up again here. Bradley getting it forward towards Salah. Bradley has been excellent tonight. He's done so well on his full Champions League debut. Cleared by Modric, but not well. Bradley lets it run inside the penalty area. Salah goes to the ground. Referee says no penalty, and he gets up and doesn't make an inflammatory gesture towards the referee, but he had his fingers pursed and he was looking at the referee. He was absolutely furious. He was convinced that should be a penalty. Camavinga then goes down. He thinks he's been pushed to the ground and punches it in frustration when a free kick isn't given his way. Le Tessier is letting plenty go, as Stuart mentioned. Salah trying to get through now, trying to run round Rudiger. That's not a foul either. Players from both sides convinced that they're being brought down here, and the referee's just happy for them all to get on with it. Modric back inside his own box. Is that a foul? Jones tries to get on the end of it. He just gets a little nudge. That's not a foul either. And Real will play out from the back and find a little bit of space in the midfield now. And Arda Güler gets it forward and down towards Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe can't find a way past Bradley. Appeals for a handball from the Liverpool supporters against Mbappe. It wasn't, and Modric will work it back for Asensio. And he turns it forward towards Güler. And back towards the edge of his own penalty area for Asensio. And credit to him, we talked about how well Bradley's done. So too Raul Asensio, on just his second senior start for Real Madrid. And he looks as though he's a player with a bright future as well, the young centre-half. Here's Kylian Mbappe. Couple of players making runs ahead of him, and then he switched it the other way, the wrong way, if you like, when he had the reverse ball on. He looked for Güler, and it was easily cut out by Jones, and Liverpool will be able to bring it forward again. Now towards Robertson, taking it on, beating his man, and then checking back on the edge of the penalty area. Back for Jones again. Jones with a no-look pass. Everyone expecting it to go to McAllister. He went the other way. Robertson wins a throw.
Yeah, Robertson played a little 1-2 with Valverde there, and fortunately for him, Valverde was very charitable.
McAllister clipping it in here. Bradley! Good save. Diving to his right-hand side. Courtois denies the Ulsterman who headed it towards goal powerfully. But Courtois got it away. It'll be some time to score just your second senior goal in Liverpool colours. And that's as good an opportunity as Liverpool have had for a while. Diaz, back for Robertson. Still Liverpool on the front foot. Still Liverpool the better side. Still, they can't find the breakthrough. It's 0-0. McAllister on the edge of the D. Poking to his right, getting it back from Bradley. No, they have the breakthrough. Alexis McAllister. And Anfield erupts in delight. And almost inevitably, Bradley has a major part to play in it. Great 1-2 between McAllister and Bradley. And McAllister threads it past Courtois. Liverpool 1. 15-time European champions Real Madrid 0.
Absolutely no less than Liverpool deserve. Probably a 1-0 scoreline flatters Madrid in the run of play. Brilliant play there. Just come in from the left-hand side, and a lovely 1-2 between McAllister and Bradley. And McAllister took it on his right foot and then cut it back across the face of the goalkeeper. Wrong-footed Courtois, and Liverpool 1-0 up.
Well, this is a night that everybody said was going to be a statement of intent for Liverpool if they could find a way through. And they've been so superior to Real Madrid. And yes, it is a Real Madrid side without Eder Militao and Carvajal and Alaba and Rodrigo and Tchouaméni, and most importantly, without Vinicius. But Liverpool lead deservedly by a goal to 0 with some significant absentees of their own as well. Now, can they build on it? Can they record their first win over Real Madrid for 15 years? And if they can, it just sows an element of doubt in Real's mind, because they'll be in serious danger of not getting into the top 8 in this group, and Liverpool's passport will almost be there. Here's Jones getting in again. It's McAllister again, right-footed and wide.
Absolutely brilliant play there, all instigated by Jones. Dropped his shoulder, beat 2 players, drove past a third, and then when it arrived at McAllister in the box, just opened the goal up slightly too much. Problems for Madrid. Camavinga's gone down, muscular injury by the looks of things, and I'll be surprised if he carries on.
You're listening to Liverpool against Real Madrid in the Champions League. It's live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away. Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Camavinga down, receiving treatment. In the Champions League, the scores like this: Villa 0, Juventus 0, continues live on Talksport 2. Straight after it, don't forget, over on Talksport 2, with the build-up right now on the YouTube cricket channel on Talksport It is the first day of the first test in Christchurch as England go to New Zealand. Bologna 0, Lille 1, Celtic 0, Bruges 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0, Dortmund 1. They've lost 6 in a row away from home, Dortmund, but they lead in Croatia. Liverpool 1 up here. Benfica have just taken a 2-1 lead away to Monaco, and Shakhtar a 2-up away at PSV. It's a great night for the away clubs in Europe, with the exception of the European champions, and they're going to be making a change. Looks as though Camavinga won't be able to continue, and it's the one-time Arsenal midfielder Dani Ceballos who will come on to replace him.
Yeah, as I say, they were fortunate not to go 2-0 down there, but Camavinga, when he went down unopposed, he's limping off now, and I think the hamstring is the problem there.
Well, Camavinga has left the field by the far touchline, which is not the one you expect. If he's going to come down to the bench because he can't continue, then it would have been kind of for him to come off this side rather than having to walk all the way around a lot of the perimeter. But it does seem as though Ceballos for Camavinga is going to happen as soon as they can get it done. And now the referee has indicated that juncture is now, and they'll also bring on Lucas Vazquez as well, and he'll replace Arda Güler. So Valverde will move forward, and Vazquez will come on at right back. Well, they're making the changes. Let's go back to Ellen Road. Here's Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Yeah, so Leeds United 2, Luton 0. Leeds should have added to their tally. Good work down the right from Aronson. His cross just behind Perot's finish was weak, was saved by Kaminski. Tanaka and Nonto have both gone close since. It's Leeds 2, Luton 0.
So the change is made. Gulish off, Camavinga off, Ceballos and Lucas Vazquez come on to replace them. And we'll quickly go to the Riverside as well. Graham Courtney.
Still Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. Only one chance since you would last hear Todd Cantwell for Blackburn Rovers. An effort that came in. He's got a really good header onto it. He's put it wide. Should have scored. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
That Monaco goal has been disallowed by VAR, so it's 1-1. In that Monaco-Benfica game. It was Benfica, actually, sorry, I beg your pardon, that had taken a 2-1 lead, but it is 1-1. Dortmund have scored a second, though, away to Dinamo Zagreb. In the Championship, Derby 0, Swansea 2, Cardiff 0, QPR 1. And the other scores, the Portsmouth games off. And in the National League, Yeovil have just equalised at home to Barnet 1-1, with Eastleigh leading at Ebbsfleet and Forest Green looking to extend their lead at the top of the National League. 1 up at home to Halifax. Liverpool leading here 1-0 with Alexis McAllister's goal. Jones is in. Just loses out in the midfield. Modric. Played back to Asensio. Coming forward towards the right-hand side for Lucas Vazquez. Now Valverde in the centre of midfield. And he works it back towards Thibaut Courtois. Courtois to his left-hand side for Tony Rudiger, and the former Chelsea man, and former European champion, brings it forward outside the penalty area towards Valverde. 12 gone in the second half here at Anfield on a crisp, dry evening. And a celebratory evening for Liverpool fans as things stand at the moment. They will maintain their 100% record if it stays this way after the Alexis McAllister goal 4 or 5 minutes ago. A little bit of space on the left-hand side for Brahim Diaz, though, for Real Madrid. He'll bring it forward inside the penalty area. Forced to turn away by Bradley. He's laid it back for Mendy. Now worked forward by Ceballos. Mbappe. Gravenberch comes back, cuts it out. Salah back defensive. Lee as well. Good 1-2 between him and Nunez, and Nunez didn't take a touch, just allowed it to roll across his body, and that saw Asensio poke it away. Only now has Camavinga made it round to the mouth of the tunnel. He'll go down there for treatment. Here's Mbappe. Mbappe taking on Bradley and beating him and pulling it back inside the penalty area, but Van Dijk can side foot it clear. Ceballos working it through the legs intentionally, and Modric out towards the right side of the penalty area, and it's a penalty to Real Madrid. As the ball was swept inside the box, Vazquez going down, legs swept away from him by Robertson, and it's a penalty to Real Madrid and a chance for them to get back on level terms.
Well, we've had close to an hour's football here, and Madrid have had nothing out of this game whatsoever, and this is probably the last minute or so the best they've had. And I'll tell you what, that isn't a penalty, that is a dive. And for me, I'm not sure there's contact there. Marginal, Jim, marginal. But all set up by Modric. His little he's probably touched him enough to make the referee and VAR's mind up.
Modric getting it forward for Lucas Vázquez. Robertson, who gave one away at the weekend at Southampton for a foul on Tyler Dibling, and has given a penalty away here. The decision is still being ratified. Now, Kevin Kelleher has had a pretty impressive November in facing penalties. He kept one out in the Nations League against Point Palo of Finland. He kept one out at the weekend as well, only for Adam Armstrong to score the rebound. And now, can he thwart Kylian Mbappe from the penalty spot? We've played an hour. Real Madrid with just about their first chance of the night.
I've got to say, Jim, the referee has let everything go tonight, and that has been one of the most marginal contacts you'll ever see, and he's given a penalty straight away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not in keeping with the way that he's refereed the rest of the game. It's a big moment for Kelleher. Clad in yellow, black gloved hands above his head to make the goal look as small as possible. Kylian Mbappe striding forward, hits it right-footed. Saved by Kelleher! Diving to his left. It's a hat-trick of penalty saves for the Irishman over the space of a fortnight. What a moment in his young career. Relief for Robertson, delight around Anfield, and massive kudos for Kelleher, diving to his left to save the penalty. I think, looking at the replay, still had part of his right foot on the line. They had a long look at it, but when the ball was kicked, part of his foot was on the line and the save stands.
This young man is really enhancing his reputation, Kelleher. A wonderful save. And to be fair, I don't think Madrid deserve to get themselves back in the game. But a wake-up call maybe for Liverpool.
Bradley gets the better of Bellingham on the near touchline, and then Ceballos fouls Bradley. And it's a free kick to Liverpool, who will just try and calm things down. I think the adrenaline will be running up for the award of the penalty, which they would have felt soft, and then seeing Kelleher save it. They've got the free kick in the right back position. They can take their time over it and just draw a collective breath.
Yeah, you're right there. This is probably the only time in the game that Madrid have had a section of play, a slight little bit of ascendancy, if you like. And Liverpool, common sense prevailing, just slowing, taking the tempo out of the game, wrestling that momentum back.
Monaco down to 10 men in their game with Benfica, which is still 1-1. Bologna have now finally scored their first Champions League goal. Jean-Luc Amé with the equaliser at home to Lille. That's 1-1. Ball headed by Van Dijk, on by Gravenberch. Liverpool still inside their own half. McAllister getting it forward. Nunez couldn't read it, and Rudiger will be able to get it back towards Luka Modric on halfway. Vázquez slams a high ball from the right down to the left. It's an inch perfect delivery. Brahim Diaz running towards the edge of the box. Mendy is played in, pulled back past two diving Liverpool defenders. Diaz has got it again. Gravenberch's got to make sure that he doesn't dive in. Liverpool defend it just about effectively, and it's poked away by Jones to get it past Ceballos. Salah thought he'd lost out, made something of it. Then it's a 50-50 involving Valverde and Diaz. Liverpool win it, and McAllister's got it, and he'll bring it forward. We'll be at Celtic Park in a moment for news of a equaliser for the Hoops as Gravenberch brings it forward. Out it goes towards the Liverpool left, but not cleanly, and Bellingham now tries to work it forward from Mbappe. You can't take your eyes off. It's helter-skelter, 100-mile-an-hour stuff. It really is a slugfest in the midfield at the moment, and Liverpool can now just calm things down. Bellingham wired into a challenge, but Liverpool worked it past him. Gravenberch down towards Diaz, and Liverpool will turn it all the way back for Kelleher. So let's get very quick news of that Celtic equaliser from David Tanner.
65 minutes gone, it's Celtic 1, Bruges 0, and seconds after Bruges through Andreas Skov-Olsen missed a real chance to make it 2-0. Daisen Maeda scores his third goal in this group stage. Celtic 1, Bruges 1.
Up into double figures in all competitions this season for Maeda. Celtic looking for a 7th straight win and a 17th out of 20 in all competitions this season. The next goal will already be their 60th of the campaign. Gravenberg. Jones wins it back, getting it away from Bellingham. Liverpool leading. Keller has saved the penalty from Mbappe. And whatever happens, however long he plays, that will be a moment he will never, ever forget. Here's McAllister. Down towards Robertson. Jones now able to bring the ball forward. He's level with the edge of the Real Madrid penalty area. Intricate passing football again from Liverpool here. Just trying to slow things down and play at their own tempo after it had become so quick and almost vicious. Bellingham turning a little pirouette in the midfield. He's lost it, then tried to win it back with a naughty little attempted clip of McAllister. And it's a free kick to Liverpool. 10 yards outside the penalty area, maybe 12, slightly left of centre, but it's a good position.
I think Jude Bellingham just guilty of having his ego tweaked, if you like, there. Just trying to overdo it on the ball. McAllister took it off him and said, there you go. What are you going to do about it? And you're behind me. The only way you're going to get it is foul me. And he played right into that.
Live on Talksport 2 right now. Still Villa 0, Juventus 0. Derby have one back at home to Swansea in the Championship. Lille 2-1 up at Bologna in the Champions League. The free kick's been worked short. Diaz on his right foot. Across the face of goal. It didn't get too far. Asensio dived in and blocked it. And it will come outside the penalty area now. And an opportunity for Real to bring it away with Valverde. Modric and Rudiger will complete the clearance. Deadlock broken at the Riverside. Graham Courtney.
Yeah, it's Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. It's Dom High-Am for Rovers. He's beaten the offside trap and he's finished it really well. Middlesbrough 0, Rovers 1.
A rare goal for Dom High-Am. And Blackburn leading at Middlesbrough, who've won their last 3 games and scored 15 in the process, but trailing by a goal to 0 tonight. Cody Gakpo is going to be coming on for Liverpool shortly. We're just shy of the midway stage of the second half. Friday, incidentally, we'll see Talksport's 150th commentary of the season already. Friday night. It's a big one. Brighton against Southampton. Brighton win that. They go second behind Liverpool in the Premier League. Will be past 200 by the time we get into the new year, because December will see 50 live games on the Talksport network, including 10 on Boxing Day alone. So Diaz will come off. Cody Gakpo's going to come on to replace him. 67 minutes gone. And a reminder that Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbonlahor will be back with you tomorrow morning from 6. Gabby fresh from night at Villa Park tonight. And still 0-0 there between his beloved Villa and Juventus. Great to hear Rod Stewart on the show this morning after he secured a legend spot at Glastonbury, incidentally. And talking of Gabby and Villa, Emi Martinez has just made a wonder save to keep it at 0-0 in that game that continues for you now on Talksport 2. So Alan Brazil and Gabby tomorrow morning from 6. Brahim Diaz might get an offside flag against him. He doesn't yet. Kelleher makes the save. Might break back out Bellingham's way. Gets a right-footed bobbling effort in. Now the flag is up against Diaz, and it didn't look a particularly close call. Another goal at Ellen Road for Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Leeds going top. Leeds United 3, Luton 0. Great ball over the top from Bogle. There was Dan James, lobbed it over the advancing Kaminski. Leeds 3, Luton 0.
There's so much to get your teeth into tonight on the Sports Bar. Liverpool leading here 1-0. And make sure you stay with us as we bring you all the reaction with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, who will also give you the chance to have your say on national radio. 03717223344 is the number that gets you through to the boys on the Sports Bar tonight. Mbappe can't find a way past Bradley. Bradley and Kelleher have been exquisitely good tonight. Here's Salah making his way forward now for Liverpool. It's running at Mendy. He's passed in and has won a penalty. More a penalty than the one at the other end. Salah running at Mendy, dropped his shoulder, then flicked the ball past him. Mendy caught him. And Liverpool have the chance to get daylight between the sides and take a 2-0 lead in front of the Kop.
Well, this performance is turning into easily the best team performance I've ever seen this season. It's been absolutely incredible, both defensively and offensively. Pace running at players, and he was just too good. Salah was too good, too quick, too decisive for Mendy. And a penalty, and you've got to tip your hat to Conor Bradley as well. Fantastic. Played his way out of trouble, adjudged to have given a foul, got back, took the ball off Mbappe and created the counter-attack.
Mo Salah was injured when these two sides met in the 2018 Champions League final. Can he now score a Champions League goal against Real Madrid? Curved, left-footed run-up, he's put it wide. Sent Courtois the wrong way, but he's put it wide of the left-hand post. And both sides have seen a penalty spurned in the space of 9 minutes.
Well, I think he's just clipped the outside of the post there. What he's done, he's opened his body up and just drilled it with his laces. And he's just cut across the ball too much. Oh, and I think we're just looking at Mo's family in the stand by the looks of things that jumped to their feet. And the balls flew past the post.
Just clipped the outside of the post, Mo Salah, close to what would have been his 13th goal of the season. He's been in great goal-scoring form in the Premier League, his longest run of goals for 3 years. He's scored in his last 5 Premier League games, but unable to give Liverpool a 2-0 lead here. What a dramatic night this has been. Still 1-0 to Liverpool there. Really good value for him. Salah's got it again. Real have made a change. They've taken Mendy off and replaced him with Fran Garcia, who started the weekend game at left back. The defender, the former Rayo Vallecano player, has won a couple of caps for his country, and he's on at left back. Real Madrid's third change coming with 19 minutes to go. In terms of the stats tonight, 63-37 the possession in Liverpool's favour, 13 shots to 6, 5 shots to 1 on target in Liverpool's favour. So they really do deserve that 1-goal lead.
To be fair, the only thing that surprises me is the stats are not more in Liverpool's favour. I've got to say, I think their general performance has been wonderful. Just need this second goal just to kill Madrid off.
Great dummy there by McAllister. Diaz sends it out wide towards Salah. Salah taking on Fran Garcia and beating him, but the ball beat the pair of them to the dead ball line. It's just drifted over, and it's a goal kick which has been taken quickly by Rudiger.
When you see that counter-attack, Salah's gone as quick as you'd see down the right wing on the counter-attack, and when the ball just rolled out of play in the box, Jim, 4 Liverpool players waiting for the cross. Incredible the pace that they get forward.
Well, this is certainly far and away the best performance that I've seen of them under Arne Slot so far. Well, they've just been mesmeric tonight. There's such good value for the 1-0 lead, as we've been saying repeatedly. And here's Fran Garcia. The game's certainly not won yet against the side of Real Madrid's calibre. But they might end up with only 6 points from a possible 15 in the Champions League after 5 games. Here's Mbappe trying to wriggle his way past Bradley. Got it across. Konate blocked it. Ball goes out of play for a corner, which Real Madrid will take on their left. And don't forget, incidentally, the Trans-Europe Express returns this Sunday evening from 9. Danny Kelly and Andy Brassel diving into all the reaction from across the continent, from all the European games in the league this weekend coming, and all the European games that have happened yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We've got Chelsea, Manchester United and Spurs all in action tomorrow on the Talksport network. Real's corner wasted. Liverpool have it. Salah opens the field up by sending it wide to Gravenberg. Gravenberg out towards Diaz. Diaz running inside, gets the better of Valverde. Kind little kiss off him. Back towards Salah. Salah's touch a little bit heavy. Fran Garcia clears it. Back out towards Bradley though. Liverpool will try and recycle it. 16 to go. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. With Kelleher saving a penalty and then Salah missing one in the space of 9 minutes. Here's Cody Gakpo on the Liverpool left. Now Andy Robertson is able to pick it up. Gravenberg. McAllister was standing there with his arms outstretched, wanting the ball. Now he gets it. Curtis Jones will play past Gravenberg. Back out towards Cody Gakpo. Coming in off that left flank. Leaning back. The ball has been played by McAllister into the feet of Curtis Jones on the left-hand side of the box. Robertson has taken up station almost as a supplementary number 9 for a moment, in behind Darwin Nunez. Gravenberg working it out towards the left. And still Liverpool spraying the passes around and working it back towards halfway for Van Dijk. Forward they come again. Manchester City will be watching this and won't necessarily be looking forward to the weekend, I don't think. McAllister gets it in. It's cleared by Rudiger and brought down by Van Dijk. McAllister again. 15 to go. Gakpo just rolled forward inside the box for Jones. Played across the edge of the 6 and just hammered away then. Straight out of play by Fran Garcia.
There's a team in Liverpool here in red that are just enjoying their football at the moment. You know, they're playing through the thirds, keeping possession, attacking with good tempo when they have to, keeping possession when they don't have to go forward with it.
Diaz. Salah to his right. Plays him in. Back now for Conor Bradley. And McAllister, wonderful crossfield ball. Brought down beautifully by Cody Gakpo. Gakpo, right-footed ball, swung inside the box. Coming in at the far post was Salah, headed away from him by Fran Garcia, and goes out of play for another Liverpool corner.
Yeah, it was a great ball to the far post there, and good defending by Garcia at the far post. If he hadn't, it dropped straight to the feet of Salah.
You're listening to Liverpool against Real Madrid in the Champions League. It's live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van. John McGinn's had an effort cleared off the line. It stays 0-0 on Talksport 2. But here it is 2-0. In comes the corner. And Cody Gakpo is there to head it in. Tonight has been Liverpool's real statement of intent. They are showing that this early season run is no flash in the pan. It's going to be 17 wins from 19 under Arne Slot. And on this occasion, it's a rudimentary set piece. Gakpo there to head past Courtois. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 0. They mean business. Write them off at your peril, because they're the real deal, this slot machine.
I've got a feeling this might be offside. This is very, very close. His foot, he's done well. He's come out with the Madrid back line, but I think there might have just been a foot straying offside. I certainly hope not, because they deserve to have this goal. It would have been very tight either way. But for all the good play that they've done, they score with a rudimental ball into the box and a header.
Well, it is still being checked. And the fact that it is still being checked with a semi-automated offside shows just how close it is. It stands, and Liverpool are 2 goals to the good. What a night this is going to be. Bellingham inside the centre circle. Now towards Modric. Now for Real Madrid. You have to have a look at 6 points from the first 5 games. That will all but rule them out of a place in the top 8. It won't mathematically, of course, not yet. But 15, if they win their last 3, may well not be enough. Bellingham has nice position here. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. They've still got to go to Atalanta. They'll beat Salzburg at home. They'll almost certainly win away to Brest on the final night. But that would only give them 15 points, and that might not be enough for a place in the top 8. They're going to make another change, and Endrick, who the crowd have been calling for, comes on to replace Luka Modric. Endrick, who's only started the 1 game since his €60 million move from Palmeiras, scored against Valladolid on his La Liga debut. He scored against Stuttgart on his Champions League debut. And those are the only goals that he's got so far. They'll be hoping for an impact from him here. A player that scored, you remember, for Brazil against England at Wembley earlier this year. Canate's got the ball. Ball from him to Bradley. 11 minutes to go. And Liverpool lead Real Madrid by 2 goals to 0. Dani Ceballos in the heart of the Real Madrid midfield. Play forward towards Asensio. He's lost it. He's now out of position. McAllister can get it forward to his left-hand side for Robertson. Good first-time ball for Cody Gakpo. Picking up the ball in a little bit of space in the midfield, but he couldn't thread it through towards Salah. Bradley was in there and winning a 50-50 with Fran Garcia, got caught. And then a yellow card is shown for dissent to Dani Ceballos. And it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool, 12 outside the box right of centre.
Yeah, what they've done well tonight, and this probably indicates that every time there's a loose ball or a Madrid player gets the ball, he's been hurried, he's been harassed by at least one Liverpool player, and that makes it so difficult to play against.
An update from the cricket. England have won the toss and will bowl. Talksport cricket team live right now on the Talksport cricket YouTube channel. Live coverage from 10 o'clock on Talksport 2. 0-0 between Villa and Juventus over on 2 right now. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid here as we go into the final 10 minutes. In comes McAllister's free kick. Van Dijk with a header down. Hits Lucas Vazquez and goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, Vazquez done well there. He was left with Van Dijk at the far post. Just got in front of him as Van Dijk was going to head it back across goal.
Liverpool flood the penalty area again. And McAllister will trot out to take this corner and will get a big ovation from those in the Kop as he makes his way over to that corner of the ground. 18 minutes gone. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 0. And if this is a scoreline that gives Real Madrid all kinds of problems, it presents Liverpool with a glorious opportunity. Probably only 1 point from the last 3 games will be necessary for a top 8 finish. In comes the corner. Well headed away. Right-footed attempt at a volley back into the fray is blocked, and Real will be able to get it further clear down to Fran Garcia on the left. Szoboszlai is going to be coming on at the next break in play for Liverpool with 9 minutes to go. Slot almost in the position where he can rotate and keep legs fresh for the game against Manchester City at the weekend. Here's Hendrick, a young Brazilian. Can't find a way through. And Liverpool bring it away. A late goal for QPR at Cardiff. And they've won by 2 goals to 0. Cardiff 0, QPR 2. Portsmouth, remember, just above them in the table. Their game off tonight as Fran Garcia 41 a corner. There's a little double ricochet. It comes off Bradley into Fran Garcia and goes out of play for a goal kick. I doubt Conor Bradley has ever played as well as this in his career.
Well, if you're Trent Alexander sat on the bench at the moment, you're thinking to yourself, I might just knock on the manager's door and say, please, have you got a contract for me? Because you've got someone in your place who's been absolutely outstanding tonight. I've got to say, he's been brilliant. He's dealt with Mbappe, he's got forward, he's assisted goals, he's been everything.
Well, we are in the company of the Curtis Jones fan club tonight. Adrian Durham hosting proceedings here at Anfield. He's not the only one that is in full admiration of the young England international. Standing ovation for him as he leaves the field. Szoboszlai is on to replace him with 7 minutes to go. That win for QPR in the Championship, incidentally, has taken them off the bottom. 2 points clear of Portsmouth, only 2 points from safety now. And we've got new leaders at the top. Mark Wilson.
Leeds United 3, Luton 0. 2 goals in the first half. Byram's acrobatic scissor kick and Joel Perreault's close range finish made it 2-0 at the break. Dan James wrapped it up. Lovely ball over the top. Great finish over there. Vanskin Kaminsky. Leeds top. Leeds 3, Luton 0.
And Middlesbrough within 2 points of the top 6 now, having been beaten at home by Blackburn tonight. Graham Courtney.
Certainly have. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 1. Forget about the first half. Blackburn, though, caught the eye in the second. Todd Cantwell had a goal disallowed, and then 77 on the clock. Dom Hyam firing in from close range. Borough stay 6th. Blackburn up to 8th. Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn Rovers 1.
And Derby 1, Swansea 2, the latest in the Championship. They've got 7 minutes to go in that game. Still Villa 0, Juventus 0, Bologna 1, Lille 2, Celtic 1, Bruges 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0, Dortmund 2, Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 0, 10-man Monaco 2-1 up at home to Benfica, and Shakhtar down to 10 men, but only after getting into a 2-0 lead in Eindhoven away to PSV. So the standings as things are right now, Liverpool 2 points clear of the field. Monaco and Inter would have 13 points in their 5 games. Real Madrid, for their part, would be down in 24th. And you have to finish in the top 24 to avoid elimination. So they're above the dotted line by just a point at the moment with 3 games left to play. 6 minutes left in this one. And Liverpool lead by 2 goals to 0.
Well, at this moment, Madrid look as though they've had their hearts broken. They're being played through, they're pressing, but half-heartedly.
Now Konate able to make his way forward. Little back heel flick. Bradley coming onto it from Diaz. Sends it wide towards Salah. He's just got to retrace his steps slightly on the Liverpool right-hand side, but he's maintained possession easily enough. Back it goes from him to Konate, to Gravenberg. Gravenberg's got Van Dijk to his left, but he's edged it through the centre circle instead for McAllister. Szoboszlai can take it on. Forward from him towards Bradley. Szoboszlai again. Liverpool, top of the league. The Champions League, really, with this revitalised format, has been taken to by Liverpool quite superbly. Diaz makes his way forward, can't find a way past Asensio. They've had a string of corners in this second half. Here's the latest, coming with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've got the game exactly where they wanted it. They've got a 2-goal buffer. They've been absolutely superb in dictating the tempo of the game from start to finish, Jim, I've got to say. Oh, and Conor Bradley's just dropped to the turf, so I don't know what's gone on there. Hopefully that's nothing too serious.
And just a touch of cramp, you would hope. That'll be interesting to see who starts at right back, if Bradley's 100% fit for the game against Manchester City at the weekend, because Bradley's been so good tonight. Trent is back on the bench tonight, so you would think that he's going to be in a position to start, but can you leave Bradley out after his heroics this evening?
Well, listen, he'll be certainly talked about as man of the match this evening, and it looks like Gomez might be coming on instead of Trent. Yeah, in regard to this, don't know whether it's a muscular injury, but at this stage of the game, with 4 minutes to go in regular time, why would you take a gamble on this young man?
They just don't need to take any risks. One back for PSV at home to 10-man Shakhtar Donetsk. 2-1 they trail, and Bradley comes off, and Joe Gomez will come on to replace him. And John Aldridge is working for club media here, literally stands 3-4 seats to our right hand side and gives him a standing ovation as he leaves the field. So you've got a Liverpool legend publicly admiring what Bradley has done tonight.
Well, to be fair, I am not surprised by that at all. The young man's been absolutely wonderful tonight. I've got to say, he's been brilliant.
So Gomez on, and Liverpool restart play with a corner which Courtois has flapped at, but under pressure he managed to get it onto the roof of his net and out for what would have been another corner, but he's been given a free kick. 3 to go. And I remember seeing Real Madrid not that long ago when they were seemingly down and out, and they scored 2 extraordinarily late goals in a semi-final against Manchester City and turned things around and went on to lift the trophy. Against most sides, you would say, with the preceding 87 minutes, what we've seen with the 2-0 scoreline, you would say it's all over. Maybe just an air of caution is necessary at the moment, but it's hard to make a case for Real Madrid coming back into this. And Liverpool so superior. And 03717223344 is the number that gets you through to the sports bar. Liverpool fans, where does this performance rate? Where does this team rate compared to the others you've had? Here's Kylian Mbappe getting to the edge of the area. Right-footed effort from him, takes a deflection with Kelleher diving to his left-hand side, and it spun it towards the near post instead and just ricochets out for a corner. It's off Van Dijk, but it is a corner and not one back in the game.
Well, closest I think they've come since the penalty, and it was a big leg out from I think it was McAllister actually, a trailing right leg that managed to push it to the side of the goal.
In comes the corner. Real's first of the second half, easily headed away at the near post by Cody Gakpo, driven back in by Fran Garcia and headed down straight into the hands of Quavine Kelleher, but from an offside position anyway, so I wouldn't have counted how Bellingham diverted it past the Irishman. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 0. Joe Gomez bringing it forward. We're in the 89th minute here. Szoboszlai down towards Diaz. Diaz clipping it back inside his own half for Konate, who's just been caught by Endrick. And he's going to get a yellow card, the young Brazilian, for that. So Endrick in the book. The only frustration for Liverpool tonight, the fact that McAllister picked up a yellow card that will see him miss the next game through suspension. Liverpool go to Girona, then they've got Lille here, and PSV away is their concluding fixture. And you would imagine that they'll be long safe by then with a position in the top 8. And Real Madrid have to desperately improve. Extraordinary turnaround in the game in Monaco, incidentally. Monaco down to 10 men at 1-1, took a 2-1 lead and have now conceded twice in 4 minutes and trailed 3-2. Monaco 2, Benfica 3. Dortmund 3 up away to Dinamo Zagreb. Zeki Amdouni, the former Burnley man that has scored what looks as though it's going to be the winner for Benfica. And that will take them up to 9 points. Won the first 2 games, they've lost the next 2, but they're going to win tonight away to Monaco. And Monaco, 5 minutes ago, were going to go up to 13 points and now going to stay on 10 seemingly. Liverpool will be up to 15. We've got 4 minutes of added time here. Ball nodded down by Fran Garcia. Brought under control by Kylian Mbappe. Right-footed driven cross headed away well by McAllister. Cody Gakpo will be able to pick it up. And he chips one over the top here for Diaz. He takes it into his strike. Courtois off his line. Heavy touch just allowed Courtois the chance to come out and narrow the angle and deny Liverpool a third.
Well, I think he done everything right there. The first touch was so important. He got that right. The second touch as well. And I think at that stage you just give the goalkeeper credit. Narrowed the angle brilliantly. Spread himself really well. And just deflected for a corner.
Still Villa 0-0 with Juventus. Live over on Talksport 2. They're in stoppage time. Celtic 1, Bruges 1 in the second minute of stoppage time in Glasgow. And this one, 2-0 to Liverpool. Alexis McAllister to take this latest Liverpool corner. It's their 6th of the second half. It's going to be a right-footed away swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box, which Rudiger can head away. And now Real will bring it forward and get it down towards Kylian Mbappe, who comes over the halfway line. And Liverpool got 6 back behind the ball so quickly in the 92nd minute of the game. And it's a brilliant work ethic. And I guess when you've won 16 out of 18 and you're about to extend that record with your best win yet, then I suppose it does make you feel fresh this late in the game. But it's a great illustration of the work ethic that's been instilled by the last manager in this one. Asensio with a really good sliding challenge gets it away from Gakpo on the edge of the penalty area. You know, there might be a little frustration from Liverpool that they're not going to win this even more comfortably. Salah missing a penalty, remember. Here's Bellingham. Bellingham's right-footed ball across the edge of the penalty area. Vazquez onto his left, curls one, and Kelleher plucks it out of the air and stops it going into the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, just not enough drive on that ball, not enough pace. Done extremely well, opened the goal up, left foot, and just, you can tell it wasn't his natural foot, to be fair. Kelleher read it well.
Kelleher drives the ball forward. They've got 40 seconds of added time left to play at Villa, still 0-0. Well, there'll be a point gained against Juventus and still leave Villa in a good position. But nobody in as good a position as Liverpool. Mbappe, Fran Garcia chipping it in, Bellingham flicking it on, taking a touch, Brahim Diaz, and Kelleher denies it as Diaz tried to pull it back there for Mbappe, and Kelleher made himself big at the near post to protect his clean sheet.
Yeah, he did, and Robertson learned from the previous challenge. He slid in and just pulled his foot away in time not to induce the free kick.
One last Liverpool attack as they look for a third. Gomez for Salah, Szoboszlai playing it in, cleared. Out of Robertson hooking it in. Rudiger can head that one away. Brought down on the edge of the penalty area by Diaz, but he's fouled Ceballos, and it's a free kick that Real will, to their credit, look to take quickly. And then Ceballos has been caught again, that time by Luis Diaz, and then again, but the referee's played the advantage. Bellingham's got it. Bellingham scything through the midfield, trying to release Hendrick, and Konate went shoulder to shoulder with him. Hendrick, I think, just caught him, but the ball goes through towards Kelleher anyway, and this is going to end 2-0. And late drama at Villa Park, where Aston Villa have scored with almost the last kick, seemingly, and they lead by a goal to 0. It's over here at Anfield. Liverpool, sensational. Absolutely magnificent from the first whistle to the last. It took them 52 minutes to find a breakthrough. Alexis McAllister gave them a 1-0 lead. Kelleher protected it, saving an Mbappe penalty. Salah missed one of his own at the other end before Cody Gakpo headed in. And they've had some famous European nights here at Anfield, but this was a cathartic one. 15 years since they last beat Real Madrid. They've beaten them again by 2-0. And it's thoroughly merited. There is a little bit of concern though for Konate, still down after sandwiching Endrick there inside the penalty area a few moments ago, and he continues to receive treatment, and that is just a little bit of concern for Liverpool right at the end of a famous night. But they've won by 2-0. Their 100% record in the Champions League remains intact. Real Madrid in all kinds of bother in this competition, but Liverpool stroll on.
Jim, thank you very much. I could tell you the Villa winner from Morgan Rogers is being checked by VAR. We'll let you know what happens with that. Celtic and Bruges have finished 1-1. We'll check out what happened there. But what a night here at Anfield for Liverpool. It was almost routine. They were that good throughout the game. It was almost like nobody special had rocked up here. I forgot Jude Bellingham was playing. Kylian Mbappe kept quiet by Liverpool's reserve right back. Liverpool had their reserve keeper in nets and Real Madrid couldn't get past him. And they're top of the Champions League, 100% Liverpool, and they just keep rolling on. They were so good, Stuart Pearce, so good tonight, Liverpool, that everybody around Europe must be quaking in their boots. And Man City coming here Sunday, well, Pep's rocking on his haunches in a corner somewhere. Liverpool are that good.
Liverpool come into this arguably the best team in Europe at the moment on form, and on the back of that they've delivered a performance which is by far, in all elements of what they've done right through the thirds, has been the best performance I've seen this season.
Sensational, wasn't it? And when you think about what I've just said, Conor Bradley coming in, Trent's on the bench. Conor Bradley has basically just said to Trent, you might as well go to Real Madrid. We're okay, thanks. We'll take what we can get. We'll get you off the wage bill. Unbelievable performance on his first Champions League start against the European champions. It's the stuff dreams are made of.
The level of maturity that he showed in that performance, dealing with Mbappe, helped creating goals for his team as well, defending brilliantly, showing composure, playing way above his years. It was an incredible fullback's performance tonight from him.
Got some news from Villa Park. That goal has been disallowed because of a foul that VAR found on the keeper by Diego Carlos. You and I both watched it, Stuart. We've seen footage of it. A ball came in from the right, a long ball into the box, free kick. Load of players went up. Keeper didn't collect it, and it fell to Rodgers, who put it into the back of the net. Foul's been given. Yeah,
slight arm across the outstretched goalkeepers, and listen, this day and age, goalkeeper made the most of it, stayed down, injured allegedly, and was ruled out.
Well, the closing stages of that, in fact, I think that game is just about to finish on Talksport 2, followed by the cricket. It has finished now. Aston Villa 0, Juventus 0. So that's being wrapped up on Talksport 2, followed by the first test, New Zealand against England live, ball by ball, exclusive commentary from Christchurch of that first test, coming right up over on Talksport 2. But here on Talksport, I'll run you down all the results very shortly, but we need just to take stock here, step back and realise just how good this Liverpool side is. In a season when Manchester City are not where they were, Liverpool are well clear at the top of the Premier League. They are the only 100% side left in the Champions League, and they're top of that table as well. This shows no sign of ending this run from Arne Slot's side, shows no sign of letting up. They do look like the real deal, Liverpool, don't they? This was a very special performance tonight.
Yeah, early season when people were raving about Liverpool, I said, look, there's been elements and times in games where they haven't had the ascendancy. They've been fortunate to ride their luck in games and get the result and get the win. But as the season's gone on, they've got stronger and stronger. That performance there today, there was not a moment in that game where Madrid had any ascendancy in the game whatsoever. Maybe briefly leading into the penalty, briefly, but for 90 odd minutes against a powerhouse, European champions, to boss them like they did, to show all elements of the games, in possession, out of possession, movement, you name it, getting players in the box. It was near perfection.
Talk to me about Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham said what he said last night, and I don't mean any disrespect, but he didn't really show up. He didn't. I forgot he was playing at one point. I got a message from somebody saying, how's Bellingham playing? And I had to look and remember that he was playing. He had no impact on the game, did he?
No, and to be fair, none of his team did. I think Asensio wasn't bad at the heart of defence on occasion. Courtois done what he had to do to keep them in the game. Those two were probably the pick of Real Madrid. But in regard to going forward, they had absolutely nothing, and a lot of that was down to Liverpool.
Mbappe, I mean, listen, Real Madrid had a penalty. Does that go down as a bad penalty or a really good save from Kevin Kelleher?
Let's put it down to a really good save. Even the goalkeeper's had a good night in a game that he's had not a great deal to do.
And this is the thing. I think when Alisson got injured, you thought, well, bringing Kelleher in, that is going to level things out. There will be issues with that. He's not top level. Look what he's proving. Clean sheet against Real Madrid tonight. He's proving himself.
You've got Kelleher's come in and filled in brilliantly over the last few weeks. You've got Bradley come in with a lot of speculation about Trent potentially out of contract and leaving's been incredible. You've got Curtis Jones, your love child, coming out and been absolutely magnificent as well. You know what I mean? All the youngsters, and that is a sign of a healthy football club, eh? It
really is. There's plenty of contenders for man of the match. We'll get onto that in a second, but let's round up what happened at Celtic Park tonight. Talksport's David Tanner.
Celtic won, Club Brugge won, and the Belgians played Celtic at their own game by pressing them, and they took the lead by forcing Celtic into an error. The soundtrack of this goal should be the Benny Hill theme. Nicholas Kuhn went into reverse and ran back to his own box. He passed to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who recklessly, without looking, tried to pass the ball back to Kasper Schmeichel, but he wasn't where Carter-Vickers hoped he'd be, and the ball rolled over the line at the post, with Schmeichel scrambling in too late. The keeper then kept Celtic in the game with a fingertip save at the start of the second half. Dyson Maeda scored a terrific equaliser after an hour, and a Bruges second was ruled out for offside by VAR. Celtic may be lucky, definitely resilient, and on 8 points on the table. Celtic won, Bruges won.
Yeah, it's actually a really decent Champions League campaign for Celtic. I'll run down all the results and those Champions League positions in just a second, but time now to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Well, I've got a sixth sense with these things, and I think Stuart Pearce is going to pick a Liverpool player for his man of the match tonight. They've won 2-0. Who are you going for?
I've got to say, it's probably one of the most difficult decisions that I've had to make tonight in statements. I think myself and Jim both agree it's Conor Bradley, but throw in the mix McAllister, Jones. I thought Nunes led the line brilliantly before he come off and was very clean with his touches and everything. I think right through their team they were